called Division Collision. Here's how it works. Every day we highlight a different division in the league. One of us states a passionate point of view on that division, and everyone else tries to prove them wrong. Today, I'm going to give it a shot with the NFC North. All right, y'all guys ready? I believe that Aaron Rodgers will win the MVP in 2020. And here is why I believe that, okay? Here's why I believe that, Kay. All right? They drafted a quarterback in the first round, 26 overall, called Jordan Love, right? And everybody thinks, oh, rookie quarterback, he's going to get in the game here pretty early. Oh, what? We got Aaron Rodgers. Why would they even do that? You know why? Because the brass with the Green Bay Packers understands that Aaron Rodgers plays the best when he has a fire lit underneath him, when he feels disrespected, right? Think about when he was left in the draft room, when teams overlooked him in his draft class. He set out on a mission to beat all of those teams. And people say that Aaron Rodgers slipped last year. Okay, maybe his numbers slipped a little bit, but he still had 26 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Oh yeah, and still passed over 4,000 yards. Still passed over 4,000 yards, and he was 11th in the league in passing yards, only right behind Patrick Mahomes, who won the Super Bowl last year. His arm talent is still there. It has not gone anywhere. I still would like to see him play within the confines of the offense a little bit more, but I think he'll be more explosive and more efficient in the passing game. That is why Aaron Rodgers will win the MVP in 2020. Now, guys, I cannot wait to hear your arguments. Kyle, I know you got a little something to say about this.
I love the take, and I would love for it to play out this way in this era of these statistical phenoms that the old man Aaron Rodgers does it. But, Mike, my argument isn't even that sexy. It's just, it kind of is a matter of stats. And the guys are doing crazy things these days. Rodgers had 26 touchdown passes last year. I think a couple of years ago, Mahomes had 26 against the Chargers. And I look at the way Rodgers' own team is made up, never mind the opponents. Aaron Jones scores so many touchdowns. He's so good at the goal line. A.J. Dillon, this big running back they drafted. And I'd like to quote somebody for you, Mike. You know who I'm going to quote? I'm going to quote Michael Robinson at 7:18 Eastern this morning on the Good Morning Football program, speaking about the Packers. Quote, they're going to reestablish their run game big time. End quote. That's all great, and that's winning football. I just think every one of those touchdowns for Aaron Jones is another one out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. And we know there's a couple of guys in the league who are young quarterbacks who put up ridiculous numbers.
Well, I mean, I hear you, and I did say that, yes, you win games and championships running the football, but as long as you're explosive in the passing game, score touchdowns when you throw the football down the football field, it really doesn't matter. Just be efficient and win the games. And we all know the MVP goes to the team that's winning at the time. So if running the football creates this radar that puts the Green Bay Packers on the radar so that people know that they're a winning team and Aaron Rodgers is the best player on that team. Come on, Kyle. You got to give him the MVP, man.
Right. You know, you mentioned running the ball. What if your quarterback can also run the ball better than almost anybody out there? Wouldn't he be the MVP? I think Lamar Jackson takes it back-to-back Drake style. He's broke the all-time quarterback rushing record with over 1,200 yards. You want your guy to throw touchdown passes? Well, he did 36 last year. Here's the secret. Shh. He's only 23, and I think he's going to get a lot better. We've talked about his deep ball ability. I think he'll get better as a passer. Hollywood Brown, Boykin, his guys, tight end Mark Andrews. He's continuing to develop, and so are they. I think his numbers are going to get bigger and bigger, and if they have 12 or more wins, how could he not get it again?
I like that take. I do like that take, Kay. Okay, but you know. Okay. There's this thing called film, right? You watch film all year, and I think defensive coordinators have been watching Greg Roman and figuring out, you know, when Patrick Ricard, that big old fullback,
really?
When he's outside and he goes in motion, they got that read option that's about to come. And I'm not saying he won't be successful. I'm not saying he still won't rush for over 1,000 yards. But all I'm saying is it's going to be a little bit harder this year to get all those rushing yards with defensive coordinators now seeing it on tape.
Okay, so who's the guy who defies tape, the guy who had everyone thinking he was going to take a step back last year, and the guy that went on to not only have the best finish of the season with 9 straight victories, but to be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. Mike, I love you. It's Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, it's his season. They bring back everybody. They have the entire coaching staff back, and in a topsy-turvy NFL world where no one is with anybody that they work with and that they're doing stuff virtually, I'll take the continuity. I'll take the guy that brings back all of those weapons and left off where we were at. And not only that, I don't even know if regular season MVP is an interest of his. I mean, considering he's already won it, and it really means nothing without that Lombardi, I'm gonna go one step further. I'm gonna bring up the names Bart Starr and Terry Bradshaw. Why Bart Starr and Terry Bradshaw? Here's Bart Starr. Oh, that music. Oh, that music. Bart Starr was the first player ever to win back-to-back Super Bowl MVPs. The only other player to win back-to-back Super Bowl MVPs was my man Terry Bradshaw. Bradshaw did it with the Steelers in the 70s. That means we have gone decades, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. We've gone all that time to the 2020 season. We have not seen a back-to-back Super Bowl MVP award winner. I think Mahomes is zeroing in on that, not so much the MVP. I just wanted an excuse to see John Stallworth highlights here. Bradshaw, give it to me. Give me Lynn Swann deep against the Rams. Why don't we? Let's get there. Oh, Stallworth again. Mahomes, that's your answer, Mike. Love you. Rodgers is great, but Mahomes is the man in the lead horse right now.
I hear you, Peter. I hear you. And you know what? I tend to agree with that. Maybe Mahomes will win back-to-back Super Bowl MVPs, but this discussion is about the regular season MVP. And I think Patrick Mahomes they'll start a little slower than they have in the past just because it's virtual meetings, guys. You're going to have social distancing. We don't know how we're going to start. We have a pandemic called COVID-19. It's going to stop some of that passing and some of those timing routes that they have. Patrick Mahomes is great. I really don't have no rebuttal for Patrick Mahomes being great. I mean, he is really